Hi, girl.
Hi, friend.
Hi guys, so tell us who you are.
Okay, so we're Strvnge Encounters. I'm Salsabeel. I'm Aayesha. There you go. And what do we? Okay, so my name is Salsabeel. I'm a Palestinian American Muslim, and I love art and anything that is creatively inspired, music, fashion, all of that good stuff. And who are you?
Oh, you have so much more to tell them.
No.
So much more.
What about? Like what?
She makes jewelry, she makes clothes, she paints, she does spoken word, she sings. There's a lot under this. There's a complete package. The only thing she can't do is drive, but we'll completely forget that.
I'm sorry.
She can't. My name is Aayesha. I am the second half of Strvnge Encounters. My parents are from India, and I am a Muslim woman of color. And I think I'm still trying to figure out my identity, so it's always difficult to answer like who are you questions, because I mean, you know, I have these labels that I've been placed in, or like boxes that have been placed in, and labels that have been put on me, but still trying to figure out who I am within those spaces. So yeah, my interests are very similar to Salsabeel's, so we work very well together in that aspect. And yeah.
And what we do with Strvnge Encounters, we created this platform where, well, originally we wanted a space to feel accepted and safe in with our different identities. And we felt as though in every place that we stepped into, we weren't fully accepted with who we are, you know, our different various identities. So,
and we want to use Strvnge Encounters as a place to basically educate, empower, and continue to support other people, especially people of color and people from minority communities, and just communities that have a disadvantage in society due to, you know, religion, race, income level. So we try to do as many things as possible that are just basically free, or you know, or benefit shows. We're not trying to have a business or organization that's for profit out of this. So hopefully Strvnge Encounters is by the people for the people.
Awesome. So what inspired you guys to
So for me, growing up, I was very much silenced as a Palestinian girl. I felt as though I wasn't heard or didn't have the opportunity to speak up when, you know, I had something to say. And so this platform was inspired by that, and inspired by me just pushing the boundaries and really owning my voice and, you know, being proud of who I am.
I think for me, Strvnge Encounters is a healing space, first and foremost for myself, and then definitely, you know, take people with me type of situation. I'm more interested in domestic violence survivors, sexual assault survivors, and just basically, I guess, like things that people don't like to talk about. So mental health, like there is a stigma surrounding that. So we had a workshop on that. We had a whole month that we focused on in November. We titled it No Shame November. and we were originally going to talk about mental health and domestic violence and sexual assault, but the first workshop that we had was on mental health, and we had a really, really great turnout. And that just proved to us that it was a very needed topic, that people really need to sit down and be like, yeah, I have depression and I don't have anything to be ashamed of. You know, in a society that completely thinks that mental health is either made up or that people are exaggerating. And we, you know, do it ourselves in just common language. We're like, oh my God, I'm so depressed. And it's like, you're undermining what depression is. Depression isn't just sadness. So, you know, one of the ways to combat like these sort of stigmas is to educate people and to provide a safe space so that people can voice their opinions or questions and feel like, you know, they're not being judged because they don't know every little detail. And also, people experience their relationship with their mental health very differently. So some people might have had a really good relationship with their parents who supported them in getting therapy and being medicated and didn't see medication as some sort of like cop-out, you know? So they have good insight, and that was also important to hear, that there are people that are willing to accept mental health as, you know, a disease or an illness. So it was nice to have a bunch of people that wanted to talk about mental health as a main focus, but all had different experiences surrounding mental health. So it was uplifting and hopeful in some aspects, and then also we had someone in attendance who really shared a lot about themselves. It was the first time that they had ever brought up their trauma. And, you know, we had to sort of, as a group, process that and figure out, you know, how can we support this individual who has the strength to sort of share their story with us. So it was just an interesting mix to get. We never know what's going to happen in our next workshop. Keeps it interesting, for sure.
Great things, some of the challenges that you guys
Yeah, sure. So as far as challenges go, I think primarily it's really difficult to find a space that is a safe space in the means of, like, you know, it's comfortable, everyone feels it's accessible to many people, it is able to hold the amount of people that we have at that given time, and it feels very personable and welcoming. Also, just as far as Strvnge Encounters go, not the workshops, but keeping it very balanced is my personal challenge, and I guess both of ours. It's just really hard making sure that the different aspects that we do have take equal roles, I guess. So we do art and interviews and these workshops and events, and so really making sure that we give each section the time that it deserves.
Can I add on to challenges?
Yeah, of course, go for it.
I think some of it also comes with, it's just me and her. So it's just Salsa and I. You know, so it's, people are like, oh, you know, do you want to talk with your board members and get back to us? And it's like, yep. And, you know, they'll ask us a question, or they'll text one of us and be like, hey, you know, we have this event coming up, do you want to do it? And, you know, we both have the right to say yes if we can do it. So they'll get an immediate text back saying yes, and they're like, oh, did you want to talk it over with your organization? And it's like, yeah, we are. So, you know, it's very, I think there's a lot being done, and definitely it's with the support of a lot of our friends and community that we are part of, and definitely blessed to have, you know, a consistent amount of people that come to every workshop, that come to every event, that will always volunteer their time or space or whatever they have to make sure that this idea, whatever it may be, comes to life. So definitely, you know, it is just me and her as in Strvnge Encounters, but Strvnge Encounters is so much bigger than
become a community.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And, you know, hopefully, like, we can bring on more people and, like, be a bigger community, but I think we're also very attached
Yeah, we're very possessive of Strvnge Encounters in a sense of like, it's our baby.
Yeah, and we haven't really like figured out like, you know, our mission statement and what we want to do and what our goals are and how far we want this project to be and, you know, all sorts of things. So it feels kind of too early to bring on more people, but there are people that I definitely already think of as, you know, our people. Like
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So those are some of the challenges I would say. They're not that many, and they're not anything.
They're not going to hold us back at all.
Right. It's nothing that seems like we can't do. Like we've overcome all of these challenges. So right now, currently, we're all, you know, we're both in a good space, I would say.
Yeah. Positives.
Success stories.
Success stories, yeah.
Oh, we have quite a few. We've been doing weekly workshops since August. So the end of August the last weekend of August was our first workshop. And we did intersectionalities within the Muslim identities. We talked about 9/11, Guantanamo Bay, being black in America, and culture versus religion. And then in September, we did October, we did Open October, where we had the healing sessions. And we did a healing space for queer POCs, you know, only, and then also allies, sexual assault survivors, and allies. And then we had 2 open ones that anyone was welcome to come and paint or weave or make calming jars or make zines. And we collaborated with some artists to make that happen, you know, local Baltimore artists. And then in November, we did No Shame November that we talked about earlier. That was, you know, very, it basically encouraged me to continue believing and doing what I think was my, like, motivator in Strvnge Encounters. And then December, we sort of did like a reflection of the whole year and what we were trying to accomplish in 2017. 2016 was a disaster, and just prepping for 2017. And January came, and we were not prepared, you know. So January has been quite a roller coastery month. And then now in February, I feel like we're kind of gaining our
momentum.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we're talking about nations fighting for autonomy. So the Basque Country, Rojava. We're going to talk about Punjab in India. We're going to talk about Palestine, Puerto Rico, maybe Ireland, you know, the Aboriginals in Australia. So definitely trying to bring political education into a space where people feel like they can ask questions. So that's basically been our successes.
Yeah.
And then
Keith Davis Jr. show was a big success. We were able to raise money for Keith Davis Jr.
Who, do you want to talk about it? Sure.
Yeah.
Keith Davis Jr. is a man that was shot by BPD in June 2015. And he is currently still in jail with a bullet in his neck that's been moving. So it's really close to his spine. There is a lot more that goes into his case, and you know, definitely reach out to us if you want to learn more. This video would be like an hour long if we got into it. But basically, he needed money for his legal fund, so we raised money for that, and he needed about, I think our goal was 1,000, and we got up to 3,500. The sense of community that we have sort of created and are blessed with in Baltimore was shown through the fundraiser that we hosted for Keith. Every single person that performed or vended, they did it out of the goodness of their heart. And we had Salsabeel start the performance. She sang, so check her out. Instagram right here. And then we had Ryan Harvey perform. We had Easy Jackson perform, and Medicine Man. And it was an incredible playlist. It was not an incredible playlist. What's it called? Performance. It was an incredible lineup. We were really blessed to have that lineup. We also had Son of None. He debuted his video. It was like a 20-minute video. So we got, you know, first dibs on that. It went live the next day, and I think we sort of pushed that publicly, so people supported him. He's a dope Baltimore artist.
Check him out.
Yep, son of nuns. And then we have a bunch of vendors come out. We had the Bush Zine, we had Hysteria Zine, Wax and Wayne Fiber, Benjamin, his company name is Zerflin, he does graphic art. And we had Kelly, who's Keith's fiance. She makes amazing cupcakes and like cake jars with like frosting and stuff in it, and all her kids were there helping her. Team Keith came out and supported from the beginning till the end. It would not have been possible without Peggy doing all the food, Shorty on the grill, Megan doing the silent auction, Chris just, doing everything and anything we asked him to do. Angela for the t-shirt table. We had Kay and Justin at the sign-up table. It was pretty incredible how flawlessly everyone came together and just supported. In everything there's going to be, we also had Sophie and Mary, bless their hearts, with the amazing photography and art. We also had a table of our own, actually, where we had our art and knickknacks on the table. And Yahya helped us sell stuff.
Shout out to Yahya, my little brother, who is an amazing auctioneer, I guess. He really uplifted my work and our work. And we also had Tiger Stem Decor with some great furniture pieces. It was pretty incredible. We wish you were there. My advice would be just be you, and it does take a lot of strength and effort to sort of understand that you are this being. You can't be anyone other than who you are. Like, there's only one you, and it sounds super cliche, like a plaque you would get at Target or something, but it really is true. Like, there isn't going to be another me. And instead of trying to fit into what America wants you to be, or what people want Muslim women to look like and behave and speak like, you just be you. And you sort of set boundaries for yourself. You sort of make judgment calls for yourself. And as long as you're comfortable with what you're doing and you're not hurting anybody else, just do you. You're good. And it takes a while, and like we're still on this journey trying to figure, I'm still trying to figure myself out. So this is out of my comfort zone. Like, I don't do videos and pictures because I was raised with the notion that pictures are forbidden and that you can't freeze yourself in anything because you are a work of God and you can't really imitate that. So growing up, I had this huge distaste for pictures and videos, and I still do sometimes, but today's been a good day, so I'm here. But 3 days from later, I might look back at this video and feel uncomfortable, but it's okay. Like, we both know, or I know, that this is okay. We can do this, and we're not doing anything wrong. This is a way of showing the world that Muslim women are not silenced. Like, we are here, and we're speaking loud and clear, and we rhyme. So that's just my advice. My advice would just be confident in who you are and surround yourself with people who uplift you. I feel as though, you're not alone, basically. So there's someone around you going through a similar experience who you can possibly reach out to. And sometimes that's comforting to know. And for people who are looking for safe spaces, just know that you have the power to start one. You have the ability to create your own safe space, because God knows we didn't have this space, and so we figured hey, we need this for ourselves. We need to grow and make sure that we feel secure and have this safe space. So we will start this. So just know that you are capable of starting a safe space and capable of uplifting yourself and the community around you. You have that power.
Set apart. So what makes you different from any other workshop? What do you offer?
I think what makes Strvnge Encounters original is that we try to do everything. And that sort of, it might be a downfall for us that we're trying to do literally everything we can put our hands on, and anything that we're even slightly good at, we will try to hone that skill until we can share it with the world. So me and her both are very, I would say creative, but then also super like perfectionist.
We're critical.
Yeah, very critical about one another, about each other, about ourselves. And that sort of, like if we probably made at least, I would say 20 items that we created ourselves and haven't shown it to anybody or posted it on Instagram just because we're like, no, I can do better. So all the flyers, all our events, all the event planning, all the supplies for the healing spaces and all the art, like ideas and things like that, we try to come up with it ourselves and provide everybody with something that we've originally created. So I feel like that sets us apart. And also, when we initially came up with this idea back when we were in college, was we wanted to start a YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
Like we wanted to have outfit of the days and like, you know, sort of like put it on Instagram, but we wanted to do so much more that we couldn't confine ourselves even to a YouTube like video. So it was like, yeah, I want to blog, but I also want to vlog. I also want to do, you know, lookbooks. I also want to do DIYs, and it just like kept spiraling and spiraling. And we realized, no, we just need to start like an organization and then just try to figure out how we have to start somewhere, and then we'll just expand. So in August, we just sort of took the plunge and we just created a Facebook event, bought a website domain, made her like little header, and just started. And like that's how we're here now.
Yeah. What makes us original is that we have continuously broken boundaries, and we've really challenged these stereotypes and just the way things that people say that things should be. So as far as clothing, I'm trying to push modesty in a different light. I'm trying to experiment with clothes and trying to just give ideas and inspiration to people who are like me, who strive to push the boundaries and find creative ways to express themselves. And along with that, with our ideas and with our workshops, we constantly try to push the boundaries and make people feel uncomfortable enough to the point that they're growing, but comfortable enough to share and learn. And so with our various events, we constantly promote self-exploration, learning, contributing, and all this great stuff.
Yeah, and also I wanted to just add, we're very different. We're similar, but we're very different.
Yeah.
So what she would consider cute, like I might think it's like ugly, but I'll support you in wearing it. You know what I mean? But I think we sort of bounce off of each other, play off of each other, and we're not afraid to sort of be like, yeah, I don't know what you're wearing. Usually that's me telling her.
It is, yeah.
But I think we work together, and yeah.